That would actually be really good for you too, because I know, you're a bit of a wino.
I am. Thanks to, I would say more so Lauren, and just kind of when you're with a partner, I mean, you would know with Nikki as well, but most of the time, like, that's what girls want to do now. They just want to be like, oh my God, let's go to a vineyard. So that's that might have to go in the blooper reel. I just see, this is where we need to videotape ourselves, because I had my hands up in the air and I was like shaking them around. I was like, we need to go to a vineyard. But like, that's what they do. Like, I've been to so many that the girls that go there are exactly like that. They're standing in line. They're like, oh my God, what are you going to get? Yeah, I'm thinking about getting the Pinot Gris. Like, what do you want to get? Let's just get a bottle. Oh my God, we're not working. Like, this is the benefits of being a teacher. We just get to hang out like this. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, let's just get a bottle. Yeah, could we get a bottle of the Pinot Gris? Make that 2. Jess, you want one? Oh my God, yeah, Jess. Yeah, okay, let's get a bottle. We're going to do 3 bottles of the Pinot Gris, please. I swear to God.
I don't have anything to add to that.
I promise you, just go to some vineyards in the summertime.
I don't want to now. I don't want anything to do with that now. Hey everybody, welcome to Will and Drew's Gaming Retrospective. You're listening to episode 59, and it's the week of January 10th. 2020. I'm your host, Drew, and I am joined by... Wait, I gave the wrong date. Motherfucker.
You did. I was just going to wait. Yeah, it's 58.
Son of a bitch. Let's go with it. It's episode 58 for the week of January 3rd, 2020. I'm your host, Drew, and I'm joined by the date correctionist, Will.
What's up, man? Dude, I cringed when you said it. I was like, oh no, we're going to have to start over, but I guess not today.
But fuck it. Behind the scenes look at all of my faults for our loyal fan base, our wonderful, wonderful community. Guys, I know it may appear on the surface that I am perfect, but as you can see, I am clearly not perfect.
Well, at least they didn't get to hear that lousy countdown that you had last week. But they heard about it, though. They heard about it from me.
5, 4...
Fucking 5, 4... 3. There's like at least 8 sighs in between each number.
I think this week was a pretty good countdown.
It was good.
You know what? Like, before we started recording, I had like this gigantic fucking burrito, and as you and I discussed before we started recording, I'm starting to feel that food coma kick in. So I was hoping that with like a lot of energy coming out of that countdown, it would spark my energy levels. Because unlike you, I do not have an energy vitamin water. I just have regular water without vitamins. And it's very hydrating and refreshing, but it doesn't really do anything for my energy levels.
No. That burrito is just sitting in there dying and digesting. With all of the stomach acid that you're able to create, and that countdown is not going to help, I'm afraid.
No, but it was a really good burrito. It was a fucking fantastic burrito, like fresh made. Nikki made everything. I mean, the rice was like a seasoned packet of rice, a Goya yellow rice. But I mean, if you've never had Goya yellow rice, I mean, like that is the pinnacle of rice, in my opinion.
Is it really?
I mean, if you're going to go with like a flavored rice, the Goya ones are actually quite excellent.
So Uncle Ben's is just out.
Uncle Ben's is shit.
What, like, is the logo just him in like a San Francisco train or something in the background?
I think you're confusing Uncle Ben and Rice-A-Roni.
Rice-A-Roni. Shit. Like, isn't that the packet with Aunt Jemima on the front?
Oh, God.
Right. Oh. Is it Rice-A-Roni? Isn't that like the jingle?
The San Francisco treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
dude, packaged rice is like, there is so much sodium in there.
Oh, it's the worst.
I used to eat them all the time. I'm like, why am I pregnant? every time I'm done eating Uncle Ben's fucking Spanish rice packet, you know? And then I turned it around one day and it was like 4,000 milligrams of sodium. I was like, oh, fuck, maybe I should not eat this at all.
So do you want to hear like one of my not so proud moments of being an adult?
Sure.
All right. So when I was younger and single, I was still living at home at the time, but like a lot of times I would be on my own for dinner. Mm-hmm. I would make a box of Hamburger Helper.
Okay.
And I would eat the entire thing.
Okay. So I'm a vegetarian. Most people probably know this by now. What is the serving size of that? I wouldn't know. So like, I'm assuming it's a lot when you say you ate the whole box. Well,
so let's see here. Hamburger
There's probably like 4 servings in that fucking thing.
I feel like there's probably more than that.
Isn't like the box like, doesn't it have like a picture of Glover on there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it does. All right. So I don't know which one this is, but according to this, it's all right. I think it's the 4 cheese lasagna one, which is not my favorite. Is like, you got to go with like the cheddar cheese, cheeseburger macaroni. Basically anything that has fake cheddar in it is probably the best one in my opinion.
Okay.
But allegedly the 4 cheese lasagna contains 5 servings per container. Uh-huh. Each serving prepared is 310 calories.
Fuck.
It has, let's see here, 760 milligrams of sodium.
I'm just looking at the box, dude. It says Hamburger Helper, lasagna, pasta and naturally flavored Italian-style sauce mix. And then it says add ground beef in bold lettering. Made with real oregano and basil, no artificial flavors. And you've got Glover just fucking hugging a wooden spoon here with a giant smile on his face.
Fucking Glover.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Only the worst game ever.
So should I even ask you how you're doing? I don't even know.
I'm doing well, man. I didn't have any Hamburger Helper for dinner. I actually had a bowl of samosas.
And those are delicious.
They are.
Did you eat them with a spoon? Because I feel like when you say bowl of samosas, even though it is a pastry filled with yummy vegetables, I feel like bowl of samosas implies a cereal.
Yeah, or like a spoon is involved somewhere here.
Yeah.
So my thought process was I baked them in the oven. They were nice and crispy. Had them on a little cookie sheet. And I thought, okay, how do I transport these with me without them like sliding all over the place? So I used just kind of a shallow bowl with kind of like not a very high wall on it. And then I just put like a little bit of ketchup in there because I didn't have any like chutney or anything like that. That would have been perfect with it. So I was like, oh, there's like potatoes and shit in here. So like, I'll just have to do that. And it was really good. And I ate the entire box. There's probably at least 2 or 3 servings in there, but they're small. Okay. And I was hungry and I'm a big dude. So,
so you ate 3 servings of samosas.
Yep. Yeah.
And how much sodium was in that?
Probably a decent amount. I mean, my stomach right now doesn't feel very bloated, but it probably is. But it's not uncomfortable. Like, I've had some pretty uncomfortable situations from high sodium foods. So I generally try to avoid them.
I'm looking for, let's see here, vegetable samosas from Trader Joe's.
There you go.
Sodium, 350 milligrams.
How many servings?
Serving size is 2 samosas.
Oh my God. The serving size is 2?
Hold on a second. Let's see here. There's multiple websites, so it's kind of tough to tell. Let me see. Wait. Don't close on me. Servings per container 3. Serving size 4 pieces. 160 calories. Let's see here. Sodium. 260 milligrams.
260, yeah. So I consume quite a lot because you just got to times that by what, 3?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you ate the whole box, you ate 12 of them.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you say to that?
I mean, you did better than me with my gigantic burrito.
Yeah, I love a good burrito.
I feel like even though your food was frozen and, heavily salted, I feel like you still won.
Yeah, I mean, who really follows the serving size? I mean, we should, as Americans.
Not America.
We should be, but we definitely don't whatsoever.
Did you see they came out with a new Segway, which is essentially a motorized wheelchair, and it looks exactly like the wheelchairs that all the people are in WALL-E.
Oh, my God. Dude, first of all, I love that movie. And second of all, it's a fantastic movie, and it's very underrated. And I remember the first time I saw it, I remember that wheelchair part, and I was like, holy shit, like, this is really where we're headed. Mm-hmm. We're really headed this way. And some people are already in that kind of position. And I love that movie because it really, paints the picture of what the future could be like, in this country.
Here, take a look.
Enhancing. Look. Yes, I understand. Wow.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of horrible.
Yeah.
That's just horrible, man. Like that. I mean, obviously it's cool, but you're just going to feel like a sack of shit in that thing.
Here's the original side-by-side. Hold on a second. This is riveting podcasting, folks.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love this. Look at his feet.
Oh, it's so great.
That is unbelievable. I still need to watch that movie again because I watched it once years ago, and then I bought it after complaining about the price for so long because those movies don't drop in price. And I finally bought it, and then I was meant to watch it with Lauren because I don't think she's seen it. And
really?
Still have not loaded that up yet.
It's a good film.
What the fuck,
Very
dude?
Good film.
What is this Darth Maul thing?
Oh, that's something else. You went down another rabbit hole.
Yeah, we need to get out of this. We need to get out of this now because this is a real problem.
Dude, he's really good. He's really good. Dude's he's busting a move, man.
Bensie's reaction, dude, is the best.
Right, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for downloading the show. Check us out on the web at www.wdgrpodcast.com. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WDGRPodcast. It's at WDGRPodcast. Will, if somebody would like to follow you, how can they do so?
Will_Gear.
And you can follow me at ScienceStorm. And we're recording this on Friday the 3rd, but by the time this episode drops, we will have already played our second round of Halo with the community. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Unfortunately, we won't have a chance to talk about that until the following week. But that's going to be great.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to tune in.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a good time. We had so much fun last time we did it. And these semi-regular game nights have been a blast so far. They
really have. What a great idea.
So let's hit the mailbag real quick. I don't have a lot in there this week, but Vortex says, actually, I threw out to everybody to let us know what your gaming resolutions are for 2020, and Vortex doesn't have any. He says he wouldn't keep them.
That's respectable.
Maybe it is. And you know what, man? Like, the more I think about this 12 and 12 thing, the more scared I am.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah. Vortex says, I don't really do gaming resolutions because I probably wouldn't keep them. I'd say maybe rage a bit less and spend time on trying other games instead of just the ones I play every day. It's a good start, I'd say. Started playing Samurai Showdown, and man, it's a very good game. Very well done, at least a single player. Haven't tried multiplayer yet, but I will give it a whirl soon. Not having a fight stick sucks, and I also don't want to spend money on another accessory for one game, only that I might play just for a few games. So
it looks really good. I've seen a few gameplay videos of that, and it looks really, really pretty. Like it's a really nice looking game. The art is just really outstanding. So that's all I really know about it. I don't know much else.
Yeah, there's not a lot on my radar with this game either, other than the fact that it's, it seems to have hit that point now where it's going to be regularly on sale for $20 or less. So it's the kind of thing where, like, if you're kind of maybe on the fence with picking it up, I feel like for $20, you'll probably get your money's worth out of it, even if you only play it for like one game day. Like we have a bunch of people over and we start passing controllers. I think you get your money's worth out of it for that.
Definitely. I mean, Vic's not like me. I'm kind of insane. You know, I mean, what I did for game day was just outrageous, but I don't regret it. You know, it's given me the luxury of having sort of like an arcade at home.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the Dreamcast was basically an arcade system.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about it. So that alone was worth the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it for the mailbag, folks.
Yeah.
Hit us up. Let us know if you have anything that's on your mind. Best place to do so is in our Discord room. You'll find the link for that in the show notes. Of course, you can always send us an email at WDGRPodcast@gmail.com or drop us a note on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Definitely.
So what have you been playing lately, man? Anything?
Nothing. I'm really starting to feel like I know it's definitely one of those like arrow to the knee, just like, oh no, you know, like it's getting to the point now where I feel like my parents are disappointed. You know,
it's like that Peter Griffin meme where like he hurts his knee, he's sitting on the sidewalk, and he just keeps going.
Yeah, dude, that's what I fucking referenced, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving it a name because you didn't know what it was from.
Well, of course I did.
Well, you didn't say it.
Well, I said, you know what it is? I referenced the Skyrim thing. So the Family Guy thing is I'm aware of, right? That's where it came from. But I guess in Skyrim, there was like an arrow to the knee, like meme thing. Okay. And I don't know, whatever. I know what it's from. God damn it. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at now. Like disappointed parent, you know, hurt my knee. Peter Griffin situation. Like it's time to just stand back up and really take a handle on this because I know what it is. I'm just not committing the time for it. I'm still suffering from that horrible complex of just sitting there being like, well, oh man, I just don't know what to start with. Like, should I pick this back up? And I need to stop mulling it over. Right. Which is a very difficult thing to get past. And a lot of people listening will understand that. But I do have willpower and I know what I need to do. So the excuses need to stop. It's a new year. One of my new missions for this year as a resolution is to beat games. So I really need to get started. I'm not looking to just wait until like, oh, no, let's just get through January. No, fuck that. I need to start now. I'm going to start tomorrow. I have to. There's no excuses anymore. I don't think I have any plans this weekend. I'm not going to start tonight because I know it's not realistic. So, and that's another thing. I have to be realistic with when I choose to do this.
I mean, I think, you know, if you were to try to start tonight, you could easily start out with something on the Switch. And even if you just pick it up and play for 10 minutes, you're getting that inertia.
I could.
You know,
I could.
Because I know you have some plans going on with Lauren later on. So. Yes. You know, like once we're done recording, you do have a block of time that's dedicated to her, but eventually she's going to go to sleep. Yep. And you may not be ready to go to sleep. You may be ready to dive into a nice video game. And I've been finding that the Switch has been working out wonderfully for me for those little bite-sized instances where maybe I only have like 5 or 10 minutes, you know, but I could just pick it up and play.
I think what it is I need to create video games or make video games a little bit more of my sort of passion circle. Lately, I've been having my MIDI keyboard and some other instruments and just other activities kind of consume a lot of my time. And that's fine. But I just need to bundle the video games back in there because it's not like I've given up. I'm not retiring. It's just I got lazy. And I got discouraged with, you know, a couple games because I had Strider that I pretty much was being very consistent with. And then I reached that point where I was having a really hard time with it. And I got discouraged and I said, fuck this. I'm going to go back to Skyrim. Skyrim, you know, was a thing, still is a thing. And most likely, I think I'm going to transition back into that. It's either going to be that or Sekiro this weekend, full stop. By the next episode, I'm going to have gaming to fucking talk about. Mark my words, goddammit.
Well, I am going to mark your words because... Yeah.
hold me to it. Dude, I almost grabbed a mic like a fucking wrestler from like a...
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, like I wanted to grab it and just be like The Rock in his heyday and be like, all right, listen, mark my words. I'm playing the game. You're going down. You're getting The Rock fucking people's elbow. You're going to get The Rock's eyebrow.
This is the worst Rock promo I've ever heard in my life.
This is horrible, dude, because I'm so not a wrestling person. So I'm like,
you're getting the
folksy elbow, and you're going to get the raised eyebrow. And
you're going to get the vineyard stomp.
You're going to get
the Trader Joe's samosas.
You're going to get the people's Pinot Gris. And you're going to get the fucking rock bottom. All right.
Well, at least you know one of the moves.
I know one of them, the rock bottom. And that's pretty much just like a body slam, right?
Sure.
Just let me have it, dude. Just let me have it.
I'm cringing.
You're just mortified because this is your realm and I'm just butchering it.
Oh, God. I'm just going to this is going up on Instagram.
Oh, God.
But yeah. So, all right. If you're going to start playing something, what are you going to play?
Honestly, man, it's either going to be Skyrim or Sekiro. And the reason why I say that is because Skyrim, I had a good thing going on with it. I absolutely love that game. I am playing a newer aspect of the game. It is a DLC that I've never played, so it's all fresh gaming. And then Sekiro, I need to get past that boss. Because once I get past him, I can then start kind of enjoying the game more, because right now I'm just stuck on him. So, like most gamers, when you're stuck on a boss, you do one of two things. You either just keep hammering until it's done, or you just take a break and you kind of just rage quit and you're just like, fucking, I just need to go do something else. And I could do that. I could level up. I could just kind of grind. And I've been doing that, but I want to progress. I can only grind for so long, and I don't want to keep doing that because it takes a while, and I know I can beat him. The key piece is I just need to study the strategy a little bit more, and then I'll be able to do it, because I can do it. It's not like I can't. I'm just kind of lazy about it. I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to look up the strategy. I just want to do it myself, and I know I keep making the same mistakes with certain parries and stuff, so once I stop making those mistakes, I'll be able to solve the problem.
Is this the kind of thing that you feel maybe it's necessary to resort to a strategy guide?
I think so. I've already thought about it. I mean, I looked up videos on how to beat him, and I know what I need to do. But I think I'm going to refer to the strat guide because I spent a lot of money on that. It's a beautiful guide. It's got to be in my top 3 out of all of them, and I have a lot. And I think I'm just going to use that because fuck it. I bought it. It's there to use. I kind of told myself that I wasn't going to use it until the second playthrough. But I think on situations like this that are kind of ruining the experience for me, I think that it's fine to break it out and just get a little bit of help.
I mean, let's be honest too. You have to make it through the first playthrough before you get a second playthrough anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And no disrespect meant, because I'm just as bad, but you're not making that progress to warrant it. So you might as well use the strategy guide.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it, man. I just want to enjoy the game, and I'm not enjoying it right now because I'm stuck. And I don't like being stuck in games, period.
No, I hear you. I'm the same way. I kind of had a similar situation with Control. I got to this boss that I just was really struggling to get around. And the nice thing with that game is because it's kind of a Metroidvania, as long as you can leave an area, you can go back to it, So if there's a spot where you kind of, you're facing a boss that maybe you're just not quite ready for, you could usually leave the area and go somewhere else. And maybe there's a skill that you don't have yet that you haven't acquired, or maybe it's just a matter of leveling up your character further and becoming stronger. Whatever the case is, you're not forced to dealing with that boss on an endless loop. You can back out. And there was just one boss where, I just couldn't get around it. So I went to back out and I started heading off in another direction in the game. And then just the craziness of the holidays hit. And I put it aside and I just haven't picked it back up yet. And I kind of in the back of my mind, I have this lingering, nagging feeling. It's come on, dude, what are you doing? Why are you starting a new game when you haven't finished this game? But I don't know, man. I've wanted to play Octopath for so long, and I wanted 2020 to be kind of a fresh start, and I didn't want to leave this baggage just kind of just having it weigh me down, if that makes any sense. So I just kind of decided to wipe the slate clean. I didn't even start on New Year's. I started before New Year's. And just made that decision. I'm playing Octopath. I'm going to do everything in my power to beat it. if I have time or if I just have an urge to play something else, that's when I'll break out a game like Control, put a little bit of time into that. I'll go at my own pace with it. I'll beat it when I beat it, you know?
Yeah. And I've been thinking about your Octopath, sort of, venture here, and it's a dangerous one, like I said last time. However,
I'm terrified.
It's terrifying because it's a long game. From what I understand, it's pretty in depth. It's an RPG. That's enough to kind of make you run the other way. But I respect your choice because I think it's important sometimes when you're in the kind of rut that we're in to really just break out something fresh, something you've wanted to play, and sometimes that can be enough to kind of reignite that flame that was once burning bright.
Yeah. I mean, howlongtobeat.com is putting Octopath at about 60 hours for the main story. Plus, once you start factoring in the extras, you're looking at anywhere from 75 to 102 hours. And these aren't, hard numbers. These are, but, the average of all the players that have gone in and added their data, right? One of the guys in the Discord, Regulus, has said that he's about 60 to 70 hours into the game. And he feels he's done about 2/3 of the main stories. He's only finished a few side quests, and he's done it on accident. But I mean, that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. But here's the good thing, and I'm sure you're able to see this already. It's a good game. It's
fantastic.
It's a really good game. I mean, it looks great. It sounds great. It plays great. And the storylines are really engaging, actually.
Yeah. So far, I'm not too far into the game itself. I just acquired my third character.
Okay.
So I'm getting ready to head out and move up the map and try to pick up the fourth person. And I have a few side quests that are activated. I don't think I'm going to go too far out of my way to complete them. I don't know. I do like the fact that they make those side quests seem kind of obvious so that I can tell the difference between, at least as far as I'm aware, I can tell the difference between a main quest and a side quest pretty easily.
Sure.
So that's helpful because that'll give me an opportunity to put the brakes on and say, hey, wait a second. This is probably not necessary. But we'll see what happens. I don't want to deprive myself of the game either. I doubt sincerely that I will finish the game in January.
I doubt it.
More than likely, I'll finish it in February. I mean, let's be honest, I probably won't finish it at all. But I would like to think that, it's possible.
Well, here's the thing. It's the effort that counts. And I think you had written in Discord somewhere that you played about 5 hours, right?
Yeah. As of this recording, I'm up to about 6.
Okay. I mean, that's really impressive, dude. I mean, the fact of
That's
the matter
pathetic.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. With everything that we've had going on and all of our excuses and games that we jump around, with, it's just, I was impressed when I read that. I was like, holy shit, Drew's making me look bad again. And we have our moments where one of us is playing more than the other, but, I think that amount of time is a decent amount of time.
Well, a lot of it, too, has been me bringing the thing with me to work. So I have my Switch with me. I have the Switch in sleep mode. And I leave early for work because traffic is very unpredictable in my commute. So I could leave for work and I'll leave maybe an hour and a half before my shift starts and I'll be late, or I'll be over 45 minutes early. It's such a wide swing. And there's rarely anything in between. So I tend to leave for work early. I'd rather get to my job way earlier than I need to be, and then just sit in the parking lot and fuck around or go for a walk or, stop and get some coffee or something than be worried about trying to make it on time and rushing. So I started bringing my Switch. And with the holidays this week, traffic really hasn't been that bad. A lot of people are not going to work. So I've been leaving for work early and arriving with a minimum of a half hour to spare. And I'll just sit in my car and I'll just break out the Switch and I'll play for 15 minutes before I head upstairs and, start getting everything ready.
Well, see, that's the other aspect too, is you've been bringing this thing with you and really making the time.
Yeah, but it hasn't felt like an obligation either. I've been enjoying the game. I've been really getting wrapped up in this world. I've been craving a JRPG for months. I haven't played one in a very long time. I can't remember the last one I played. And I was just like, you know what? This year I'm playing a JRPG. And when I was going through my 12 and 12 list and setting it up, I started to see that there were actually quite a few JRPGs on the list. Mm-hmm. But Octopath Traveler for me was a game that when I saw it, I was like, I want to Switch.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Right. I want this game. And it took me a little bit longer to get the Switch than I thought it would. But I knew that I knew that I had to have this game. It was just no question about it. So now I have it. Now I have this game that I've wanted for, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Why am I going to shelve it?
Right.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to bring it with me, and I'm going to put as much time into it as I can. And so far it's been a lot of fun. Like I'm having a good time with the battle system. I am occasionally frustrated by the frequency of the random battles, but I mean, that's sort of just part of the deal when you're playing a JRPG. Like, that just comes with the territory.
It does.
I do wish that there was a way to scale it back. I know that some of the newer JRPGs and some of the remasters of older games have offered features where you could scale the frequency, or you can turn them off altogether. And there have been a couple cases where I've been a little pressed for time, and it would have been nice to just kind of shut that off and just kind of get to where I needed to be. Mm-hmm. But the benefit of the Switch has been, if I'm in the middle of the battle and I got to shut it off, I just put it in sleep mode and I walk away.
Have you ran yet from a battle?
I think there was one battle that I did because I was getting fucked up.
That's the funny thing about turn-based JRPGs is like when you're getting fucked up, like you really feel so helpless. Because you can't really do anything. I mean, like it's because it's turn-based. Right. Obviously you can run, but you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those kind of formats that just feels so punishing.
If you end up with one of those, fights where you have a boss and you have like a couple of his cronies and the boss is doing like some super power charge and you see it coming, you're like, oh, fuck. And then you get stuck in this loop where maybe his henchmen get to go first. And then he's coming up next, and like you're not going to have a chance to run. Like that's the worst feeling. And then you're like holding your breath to seeing if maybe that mega attack like hits, and if it does hit, maybe you deflect like most of the damage, or maybe you get fucked up and you're dead. Oh man, it can definitely create some tension. To this game's credit, though, there are enough save points where I feel like if I'm at a battle like that and I lose, I don't lose that much progress where it's going to set me back. Like I find that most of these stages seem to have like a save point at the start of the screen, at the end of the screen. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that because they're taking acknowledgement of our time while still giving us a challenge.
Sure.
It's
a challenging game, and I'm already inspired to play it and more so listen to the soundtrack in the car.
The music is fantastic. I'm trying to play the game a little bit more before I start playing the soundtrack by itself.
That's fair. I'm like that with some games. Like if I know the soundtrack is good and I'm playing the game, I'd rather experience it in the game first.
Right.
Because I don't want to ruin it.
And not only that too, but it has less meaning. Like when you get to that section of like that, dude, the first time I heard One Winged Angel in Final Fantasy VII, like, holy shit.
Yep.
And if I had heard that song before I played or watched that battle, because I think I saw the Sephiroth battle before I actually played it myself. Mm-hmm. But if I had heard that song out of context, it would have had like absolutely no meaning. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's about the context. You want to really make sure that you experience those kind of things when they're meant to happen. And I will say there are plenty of games that I've played with no spoilers, and some of the moments with music just kind of kicking at the right time has just been has shaped the experience so much more. I could think of many games that have done that.
Doom does that a lot. The new one, 2016 Doom.
I wouldn't know because I barely played it, but.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I feel bad. Tom, I still can't believe he gave me a fucking Alduin Skyrim dragon on a giant statue rock thing with Doom underneath it. And I was like, huh, that's pretty cool. I was like, hey, Tom, where'd you get this? And he's like, that's for you, buddy. And I'm like, what? It's for me? And he's like, yeah, dude, it's your birthday. You're coming up. And I was like, holy shit, dude, like, this is incredible. I just still haven't found a perfect place to put the goddamn dragon because it's huge.
Well, have you found a perfect place to put Doom? Because I know of one.
Yeah, on a shelf.
Your fucking disc drive of your PlayStation 4.
I know. I'm just glad that I experienced like the opening of that game, and I've spoken about it on an episode before. But man, I felt like it was directed by The Rock. I think that was the same thing I said last time.
Yeah, that game is serious business. Oh, I can't wait for March. Woohoo!
Yeah, that game looks amazing.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
So Octopath, overall, so far the experience has been great.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's scratching all the itches that I've been needing it to scratch. You know, a quality turn-based RPG from a quality developer that knows how to make these types of games and knows how to make them well. Mm-hmm. You know, the art is gorgeous. I mean, it's one of the prettiest games I think I've ever played.
I would say so.
That balance between the retro look with the modern aesthetics, the lens flare, the shimmers, all these like little extra touches that kind of just take it to that next level. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's beautiful. Everything about it is great. And I'm having a blast. Yeah, they did a bang up job. I guess my last question would be dimly lit room blanket. Has that happened? I don't know if it would meet your terms. I did sit down with it one night on my my gaming chair. Okay. And so that's a recliner. It's a fake leather recliner. And I had the system docked, so I was playing on my TV. Mm-hmm. And I was reclined. I had a blanket on my legs, and my cat Metro was sitting in between my legs on the blanket, all curled up. Okay. And he's a huge snuggler. Like anytime like we recline or like when I sleep, he's like literally in the nook of my legs. Right? That's like his favorite place to be. That's precious. So he's an adorable cat. I fucking love him. But anyway, so I'm reclined, cozy cat snuggling with me. Game is on my TV. And that was pretty great. And then last night I was playing it a little bit in handheld mode. I didn't play too long because I ended up kind of getting a little sleepy, so I went to bed. But I was curled up on the sofa, no blanket, no recliner, but the TV was off, only one light on. So it was pretty nice. Okay. Surrounded by cats. It was good. All right, that's pretty close. I would find that to be acceptable. Because apparently I'm like the fucking end all be all of this kind of situation. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just working with what I have. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to find. It's really just more about finding the time to really crack into it, because like I haven't had a consecutive hour to play it yet. Mm-hmm. I think the most time I've put into it in one sitting was maybe up to 45 minutes tops. Okay. But mostly it's been, 20 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Mm-hmm. And as long as I continue to bring it with me to work, I'll make that progress. It just won't be happening as quickly as I'd like it to. Sure. Yeah, you're going to have time to hunker down with that. You'll find a day where you're just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I'm doing jack shit. Let me break this out. And you're going to play for at least a couple hours. If I can find a way to put in about 10 hours a week, I'd be happy with that amount of progress. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's realistic too. Yeah, I don't think it's too far out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. Between a couple bite-sized plays here and there, and then, putting in a serious amount of time when I have a free moment, Sure. So, but yeah, if anybody else wants to join in the playthrough, so far me and Regulus are the only ones that are playing it simultaneously, although he's much further along than I am. But yeah, join in, come on by, say hello, and hop in our 12 and 12 room and let's talk Octopath. Love it. So there was one topic that we had on the schedule for today that I've been kind of wanting to talk about for a little while. It's the idea of games that are kind of like comfort food, Okay. Kind of like those warm, safe places, those games that you pop in no matter what day of the week it is, no matter what time it is, and you're instantly transported back to someplace special.
Okay.
And the world around you no longer matters. It ceases to exist. You are now back into this game. Maybe you've only played it once. Maybe you've played it 1,000 times. Maybe you've beaten it. Maybe you haven't beaten it. But no matter what, once that controller is in your hand, you just start playing it like it was yesterday.
Great topic.
It brings back that feeling of comfort, and you feel like you're at home again.
Okay. So I'm going to say Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Skyrim.
Okay. Those
are games that I know for sure have that effect where no matter what, whether I'm halfway through the game or if I'm starting over or if it's the end, whatever it is, those games I really feel at home. I feel warm. I've got the butterflies in the stomach, all that kind of stuff. All of it. Those are the 3 games. And I can explain why, but...
Yeah, let's hear it.
I would say, I mean, for Skyrim, I think a lot of people probably aren't surprised by this one because we all know how much I love that game. The world itself, from the music to the setting to everything that you can do, really transports me into Tamriel. And that's kind of the name of the main sort of place that this game takes place. I think it is. No, I think it's Skyrim. I don't know. Sometimes I get confused with the lore of that game, but either way.
It's okay.
The atmosphere and the world that you're in is very, it really has that sort of transformative effect on the player. Like you really feel like you're transported there. And if you're playing on a big screen and you get really kind of engaged, you forget, everything else. All that matters is the game. And I think that aspect is important when it comes to this particular topic, is you want to find a game that really sucks you in, makes you feel at home, and makes you feel like, I really do have like a place in this world. And that, as cheesy as that sounds, Skyrim, for me at least, and I know many other people, it has that effect where it's so real and you get so engaged that you really do feel like it's a home away from home. And, the fact that you can build a house in that game definitely contributes to that same kind of feeling. So that would be a sort of brief consensus on that one. As far as Dark Souls 1 and 2, same kind of theories here or reasons why. It's the atmosphere and what you're doing in the game that has a sort of warm, cozy, fuzzy feeling for me, because it's a familiar world that I've spent so much time in, countless hours just roaming the world all together with friends and even just by myself, that it's hard to forget it. And it's hard to not feel at home in those games because you just know where you are, you know what you're doing. Right. And it's not so much about like knowing how to control the game and where things are, but it's just feeling as though it's another world, I think, is the big thing when it comes to this this feeling that we describe is how do you capture the feeling of being comfortable in a video game? And I think that's how you do it, is you have to find an atmosphere that resonates with you really well.
It's kind of a little confusing to me that you would choose a game like Dark Souls, because to me, Dark Souls' reputation doesn't come from the atmosphere of the game, but from the difficulty and the challenges that the game brings forth to the player.
And that's true. However, for the folks that have played those games, I think they will understand where I'm coming from, because a lot of it is the atmosphere. And I know that a lot of it is known for the difficulty, and that's certainly a huge aspect. But people that have played those games for the amount of hours that I have will definitely understand what it's like to be immersed in the worlds that they provide, because they're very, I guess you could say, scenic in some ways, and very serene, and they're dark and they're brooding. So it's kind of a mixture of everything. But if you're into like a sort of medieval time period, which is kind of where those sort of atmospheres are kind of tuned for, then you'll feel at home because it's something that you actually enjoy. So I think for many players, maybe not all of them, but for many of them, atmosphere in those games is a huge thing. And if I had Tom on the show, or Joe, or anybody who's really, obsessed with those games as much as I am, they would be able to attest to that fact. Is atmosphere is everything, especially in Demon Souls, actually.
Mm.
So I know it's kind of like a somewhat of a generalized answer, but it's hard to describe. You really just have to experience what those worlds are like. And if you really enjoyed the game, then you'll feel right at home. And I still talk to Tom about a place called Majula in Dark Souls 2, which is a outstanding sort of hub base. Every game has like a sort of main hub, and Majula is just second to none. I mean, it's just such an amazing place. And I think we spoke about it on the show many episodes ago.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before. The name is familiar to me.
But yeah, when I go there, I'll just spend time there because it gives me that effect that we speak of, that comfortable feeling of just being in a game that you just truly love.
Mm.
So
okay,
that's my answer.
I like it. What
about you?
I mean, there's a couple different ways I can answer this. If we're talking, so like for me, like puzzle games are kind of produce that feeling. I could sit down with a copy of Tetris or Dr. Mario and just be right back in that groove. Okay. And I'll play and just shut out everything around me. If I'm playing Dr. Mario, Nikki knows that she can't have a conversation with me. I'm just glued on the screen and I'm just playing Dr. Mario, and it's like, that's it. Sure. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And the puzzle games for me are easy to do that with because there's no story. You don't have to remember what you've done. You don't have to remember where you're going. Mm-hmm. You just jump in and play. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo is another one too. Okay. Although it's less trance-like because there's breaks in between, because it's kind of like structured like you're fighting against an opponent.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever played that game?
No, I have not.
It is one of my favorite puzzle games of all time.
Okay.
And it's set in the Street Fighter universe.
Yep. I'm definitely aware of it. I just never played it, and I think I saw some gameplay many moons ago.
Ask Vic and Damien about that next time you have an opportunity to chat with them, because we used to have some pretty sick matches.
Okay.
That was one of those games that we would fire up and we'd be playing against each other for a couple hours, and it just like, it gets down to the wire sometimes. You're just throwing gems at each other and just like everybody starts screaming, and when shit gets real, it's like,
yeah, everybody gets really excited.
Yeah. So those games definitely elicit that type of response. And then there's games that I played when I was younger. I've spoken about Bloody Wolf on this show. It's a TurboGrafx game. Once I start playing that, like, just kind of ignore everything else around me. Legendary Axe 2 is another one of those games.
Uh-huh.
What else was it? There was Final Fantasy 7.
Oh yeah. I should have mentioned that. God damn it.
So I played the shit out of Final Fantasy 7 back in the day. And I've only played the game through once, right? I never circled back to it again. I played it for, I would guess, close to 200 hours, and then I never touched it again. And then when I got my PlayStation Mini, that was one of the first games I fired up.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned it on, and I watched the intro, and then I don't know what happened, but it was like an hour and a half later.
Okay.
It was just like I was just sucked back into this world, and Cloud just jumping off the train after that crazy intro with this music that builds up, and you're back in, and you're just jumping right into the battles, and everything is just so intuitive, and it just felt right. Yeah, and I felt like I could sit there for hours.
I really regret not mentioning that one, but it's really not too late. It's not like we had to choose a top 3 or anything.
No, there's no limit on this.
I'm glad you chose it though. I think just like you said, that opening sequence is enough to really just absorb you. And for some people, maybe not, but I think for most, it was really engaging from the get-go, and it's pretty much like action right from the start. You're jumping off the train, the music's pumping, and you just feel like you're kind of like running away.
Yeah, they throw you into the action with a very little amount of expository, and I appreciate that. Like, I'm sick of games trying to set up the story over the course of a 20-minute or 30-minute cutscene, or you're walking through this tutorial and like it just takes forever to get into the action.
Mm-hmm.
And Final Fantasy didn't do that. Like, first of all, they expect you to read the fucking manual, and secondly, they introduced characters to you at a pace where it felt natural. The battle system felt natural.
Yep.
So for me, like if I put that on right now, that's it. My night's done.
Yeah, you're going to be playing it at least for a couple hours.
Right. That would just suck me right back in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special game. It's a very special game, and there's a reason why. It's still talked about, and they're making a remake. It's for all of those reasons.
I didn't even include that remake on my 12 and 12.
Oh, well, I'm sure you can modify that.
Oh yeah, it's not cast in stone, but that's just one game I forgot about.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a long one.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think if there's some other ones. I know there are. The first Star Fox.
Okay.
Was another one of those games too. There was a point in time where I was playing that on a regular, and I could just throw that in and just start playing and get on the regular path. I could get through all the way to the end pretty easily.
That was for Super Nintendo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I love the one for 64.
I've only dabbled in that one. I do have a copy, but I didn't get my Nintendo 64 until I want to say maybe 4 years ago. I didn't have one when I was growing up, and I have really struggled with that controller.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
I'm really disappointed that I haven't put more time into playing the Nintendo 64 because that was a system that I desperately wanted.
Yeah,
and I really wanted to, carve away some time for it, and I just didn't. I got it, and I was so excited to finally have it, and then I just really struggled with that controller. I couldn't wait to play my own copy of Doom 64. And it was so dark, and the game itself was so dark I couldn't visually see it on my television at the time. And then the controller just ruined the rest of it for me.
Yeah, it's an odd system in a lot of ways, but it's also very very special in the gaming world, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Trying to think if there's any other games, man.
There's probably more.
Oh yeah, I feel like there's so many, but those are the ones that jump out to me right now.
Sure.
So yeah, if anybody that's listening has some comfort food games that they would like to share, drop us a line. Let us know. Hit us up in the comments, either on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or swing on by our Discord. Say hi. And let's talk about comfort food games. Yeah,
I dig it, man. I think it's a cool way to refer to that kind of game, because when you think of comfort food, you think of Southern food or mac and cheese, like on a nice cold night, or hot pizza. People have those foods for a reason because they make them feel good, and they make them feel sort of at home.
Even if they're loaded with sodium and bloat you.
Yeah. Fuck you, Uncle Ben.
I kind of got the inspiration for the topic from another gaming podcast I listened to called Salt City Gamescast.
Uh-huh.
They did a different spin on it. They referred to it as gaming crack, meaning that those games that once you start playing them, you can't stop, you're hooked.
Okay.
Like it's like an addiction. And they do a lot of PC gaming, so their stuff tended to be focusing on like a lot of shooters, multiplayer games, things like that.
I wish I had that problem with every game that I ever played.
Gaming crack?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like, that would be a good problem to have. And in some ways, when it comes to beating games, it would be a good problem to have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, oh, man. Did you have anything else that you wanted to discuss for this episode?
Let's take a look. Do we have time for anything else?
We're almost at an hour.
Okay. Gosh, yeah, I don't think we do. All I know,
let's wrap it up then.
Yeah, I need to play some games. So if you want to help support me in my mission to play a game, please let me know. Feel free to be angry.
Send $29.95 to willsplayinggames.com/PayPal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let me know how you feel about my lack of gaming and make me feel like a bag of shit.
For a mere $5 donation, you could tell Will that he's a sack of shit.
Mm-hmm.
For $10, you can punch him in the butt.
Dude, I don't know. That's weird.
I meant to say balls. I meant to say gut, and then it went butt.
Getting punched in the butt would probably hurt in like some weird way, you know?
Yeah.
It's like getting punched in the ear.
Why the ear, man?
I don't know. Ask Tyler Durden. Dude, you punched me in the ear.
Why the ear, man?
But yeah, feel free to yell at me.
Have you ever had one of those moments though where like your brain is trying to say two things at once and it just comes out as something else?
Most days.
Yeah. Well, that was one of them. And this time it got captured on the recording. I'm not going to edit it.
That's okay.
I'm going to stand by it.
But yeah, I need somebody to like yell at me, dude. I need somebody to like yell at me like hardcore, like leather jacket, you know, motorcycle boots, maybe like Terminator from Terminator 1.
Dude, Terminator has been on Pluto TV lately, and I've watched it like 3 times now.
Yeah.
In like the past week.
I just need to be like threatened. Like just sit there and have somebody threaten me while I'm playing a game. It's a horrible setup.
You can't have samosas again until you play a game.
Yeah, if somebody said like, dude, like we will just rid the earth of Indian food if you do not beat these games this year, then I would beat all of them.
Maybe The Rock will come in, cut a promo on you.
Yeah. Listen here, you fucking, I almost said Looney Tune. He doesn't say that.
You fucking jabroni.
Yeah, jabroni. And then what is it? Is it Pansy Boy or something? Doesn't he say shit like that?
Oh, he says everything.
Everything, like juju fruit. Now I
don't know about that.
Now I'm just bombing, dude. I'm just bombing.
Yeah, that's all right. We're tired.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to the show. Check us out on the web at WDGRPodcast.com. Hit us up Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at WDGRPodcast. Will, if they'd like to check you out, how can they do so?
Will_gear.
You can follow me at ScienceStorm. And thanks, everybody, for making 2019 awesome. 2020 is already off to a great start. And we really appreciate your support and community. And yeah, I got nothing.
You said it best, man. You said it best. We said it, quite a few times now. We're just really pumped for this year, and we've got so many exciting new things coming. So please stay tuned.
Sounds great, man. All right, that'll be it. We'll see you next time.
See ya.